Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is March 17th, 2020. Hello, everybody. Bryce Castillo here on the pre-show, here for Night Attack. The Night Attack pre-show. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. It's Tuesday, and it's time for Night Attack. It's actually time. It's actually time for Night Attack. Like that. We got a good show coming up for you tonight. Tom Merritt of Daily Tech News Show will be on. We are reviving. We're reviving an old game. Reviving a game that we did once, I believe, in 2017. If anybody does a little bit of research, that might come in handy in the show. But I don't think we've played it since 2017. And that game is playing with Translation Party, translationparty.com. We'll get back to we'll get to it, but during the show. But I don't think we have. I don't think we've done it since that time in 2017. I was going through some Twitch clips and was looking at old good moments, old really good moments on the show, and one of them was that episode. And I was like, hey, because that was about the time I was just starting to do the games every week for the show, and so it was very rough going. It was very rough going, and so tonight we're gonna try it again. We're gonna do it again. We got a new system set up. More points. Oh shit! Do I have paper? Do I have paper? I have some paper. So all of the paper up on this desk. You would think this is like technical notes or schematics and stuff, and at one point it was, but now it's all just like tallies for games that we've done. Oh, there's some paper space here. Oh, there's some space in this paper. Okay, there's some paper there. Over there. I'm resorting to using scrap paper for this now. I'm trying to save the goddamn environment. Hello, everybody. But hello. So we'll have Tom Merritt on. Tom Merritt's great. He'll be a good time on this game. I think we've ironed out some stuff. So make sure you clip that and then clip out the portion of the game where it is still not working, or it still doesn't work very well, and put that in the last time on. Oh, I need to pull up the last time on, because we have a last time on. Thank you again to ICU. If you're not following ICU, who has been making the last time on cold open things for the past couple of weeks, follow ICU. Find him on Twitter, or he's in the Discord a lot. And everybody, thank you to ICU. I hate everyone's setup, says Bryce. You're breaking kayfabe. We know you keep track on the computer brain. I wish. Hello, everybody. Let's see what else. So they will almost certainly talk about it on the show, if not in the pre-show. But if for the people who are directly affected, who have bought tickets, they already know. We have we delayed the Founders Day picnic, which is probably just as well. It's just within the past 24 hours. Austin has put down some restrictions in terms of, how large of events you should put on, and just today they closed down the bars and the dine-in restaurants around the city. So only delivery and takeaway and drive through. It was interesting. So I am on my phone, so I have all of the food apps. And I have this one here, but I thought that I got other ones. From Grubhub about an hour ago, your orders can help save restaurants. Local restaurants need your delivery and pickup orders more than ever. I'm going to click on this. I have no idea what's going to be in this. Because it's one thing for Grubhub specifically Grubhub to say like, you know, like the restaurants in your area are being affected by the closures, obviously, and you should now more than ever you need to help save them, which is pretty hard to sell in terms of, you know, all of the markup on the service of getting food delivered, in terms of like how shitty the pay is for drivers, how much the delivery companies like Grubhub go out of their way to find ways to take larger and larger percentages of the cut that a restaurant would get for an order. There's a lot of problems that I think just telling me that I need to save the local restaurant environment by using our app. Oh, let's use our app. So W Scott one says Uber Eats is waiving delivery fees. Okay, I thought Uber Eats shut down. I know Amazon restaurants shut down. I thought Uber Eats shut down, or maybe I stopped using Uber Eats. But also, yeah, like even in a like, okay, look, even if you remove the delivery fees, then like it's just more of it's the growth focused model where you just need to get people on the service and addicted to the service before you can start making raising prices such that it actually makes sense financially. I think like, where does the money come from? Are you leaning even more into that, or are you like, what's the deal? In any case, so no, I'm not going to be ordering a $40 chicken sandwich from Jack in the Box. No, thank you. I will be just fine. And you know, like it could be worse, and in fact, it probably will get worse. Oh god, I was gonna try to be positive. You know, the past 7 days, I've just been like, the virus in the primaries. That's the only 2 stories going on, and immediately I come in and I start talking about the virus. So apologies for that. It's just that people are not getting out of the home and they don't have anything else to fucking do. And I think it makes a weird. I think it was Merlin Mann on Twitter who was saying like, watching TV is fucking surreal right now, given that because there's a lead time on advertising. There's advertisements for shit that people won't go do or are being urged by their local, state, and federal government to not go do, like eating at a restaurant or going on a cruise, or I still get Twitter ads. I get Twitter ads like, oh man, South by South, or not South by Southwest. Oh, flights as low as $49. Well. Trey Warren says, if you have the means, now's the time to try to keep your local spots busy. I mean, if you have the means, you should stay home to try to reduce the rate of infection. You know, I mean, across the board. Anyway. And then I saw the tweet and I thought it was very funny, and then I said, oh yeah, I don't watch. There are very few things that I watch that have advertisements in them. That doesn't really affect me too much. No. I do have toilet paper though. I was looking through my cat, and so I have toilet paper. I got a Brita filter. I think I'll be fine. But I'm just out of I'm just in just at the very end of the cap of my toothpaste. I'm almost out of toothpaste. I need to get toothpaste, but I can go to the CVS or HEB's open. Like the grocery stores are still going to be open. I just gotta go and do it. And at that point, I was like, well, I got enough that I can last probably maybe a week or so, and so I can go out and like go get meats and, you know, staples when staple foods when do it all in one trip, or do curb like a HEB is like got free free curbside delivery, so you just drive up and they put it in your car for you. That's cool though. So like I know with HEB, if you guys have done this with Walmart or if Target, even any of the other places do it, there's a flat fee for delivery or for the curbside, but also they jack up the prices by a couple of percentage points, and so there's Bonnie. And so yeah, and then like everyone else is saying, like curbside at HEB is booked up for the next week, and so is that a child? Yeah, there's a child here too. I wonder if Brian is here at all. And so and yeah, so I probably should put that order in now, because it will definitely take it'll take just a week for me to even be able to get that. Bob Callie says someone that works at Walmart, our online grocery pickup has been really busy. Yeah, I believe that. Travis says HEB's earliest delivery spot is next Sunday. Whew. Foofa doofa. But I was super excited because I looked and I found, I thought I just, for the past 48 hours, I thought I was out of chicken. I was super bummed because I am like halfway through all my ground pork. Love the ground pork. And I was like, well, I don't have do I not have anything else? But and so I thought, oh God, I have to go make a trip to go get chicken. But I got a big thing of chicken. So I got plenty of chicken thighs. I've been on the chicken thighs tip the past few trips to the grocery store. Normally I'm the boneless, skinless, thin sliced chicken breast, because those are like a nice portion. But I've been doing like stir fry kind of stuff and like taco-y kind of stuff, and the thigh stuff, chicken thigh is good for that. Chicken thighs are good, yeah, and the flavor's better. I think the flavor's just better. So that's that. 8:23. I hope we're doing a show tonight. So a lot of people are working from home, but I already work from home most of the time. And so my schedule probably hasn't changed too much, though. With this announcement that they're shutting down the bars in Austin, I certainly wonder. I think we have we need to shoot some Scam Nation stuff before this 2-month, or it'll be a lot of these holds or suspensions of services are for like 6 to 8 weeks, and we need to shoot some Scam Nation stuff. So in terms of like, we were kind of banking on people flying in to do stuff with us, and so at this point I don't quite know if people are even if the magicians are going to be joining us, and we'll be able to do stuff. We'll have to change what we do, right? We won't be able to go to a bar, but we have friends in town. We can call up people and have just people join us for stuff. Slucko says, I work in TV sports production, no work at all. Yeah, man. Like, it's rough out there. I follow the video engineering subreddit, which is a lot of like live production people doing like fucking broadcast truck stuff, and they're photos of like, oh yeah, we were in the middle of setting up this show, here's the graveyard of this show that we were in the middle of setting up that we can't do anymore, and so on. So it's it'll be interesting. W Scotus when it says ESPN is just showing documentaries. Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you do, or maybe you I don't know, do you go back to the archives and play old, what do you just play old games? Tom was mentioning yesterday on cordkillers.com, the MLB Vault YouTube channel, which has old full games of baseball, and like, I wonder, could you just do that? Like, hey, 2020, we're reliving the 2014 NBA championship or something. Like, I'm sure ESPN has plenty of sports documentary content. Who is this also? Sat guy says, I'm another sports guy. Almost every show evaporated. Yeah, man, it's tough out there. I have been seeing people find the YouTubers, the YouTubers who do marble races, the physical marble races, not just marbles on stream, but they actually go and do the physical marble races. It's been funny. I would not be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, ESPN2, maybe it's only up to maybe it only goes up to ESPN2, maybe it doesn't hit the main channel, but I bet ESPN2 or even ESPN3 could run like could run a physical marble race. I could see that. W Scott S1 says esports. Yeah, esports is like it's the time for them to try it. It's the time for them to try it, and maybe it'll work, maybe not. I still say probably not, but you know. And then yeah, the WWE. So my understanding, if the sports people in the chat can correct me, my understanding is that WrestleMania, which is this weekend, is not happening physically. It's not going to be happening in the physical spot in Florida. It will be happening at one of their training facilities with only essential staff, which is clever. I mean, like, that's a show you could do that way. Maybe you pipe in. I think it would be funny. I think it would be very fucking funny to pipe in audience noise. Just pump in audience noise. Who cares? just who cares? Merkin McGee says, I'm wondering why they don't have pro players play the video games of their respective sports and stream it. There was someone out there. There was someone on Twitter. One of those guys offering to play the sport. Like yeah. I mean, I bet that's what you. I bet that's something that the players can do, and I bet that's something that the teams can kind of do to like work on some goodwill and like direct outreach content. Like, I bet you can do that. I bet you can do that. WCS1 says John Legend had a free concert this afternoon online. That's the other thing, man. So like in Japan, where they've kind of been dealing with this just a little bit longer than we have, I know that a lot of artists who are doing concert tours right now, which is a lot of them, a lot of big name acts are putting archive footage or old concerts on YouTube. You know, we don't have in America or even Europe, I would probably say, we don't really have we don't commoditize concert tours very much in terms of like recording them and putting them out on DVD and Blu-ray, where like that is like a big deal, a big part of the music strategy for Japan. And so like, you know, take for example Ayumi Hamasaki. Ayumi Hamasaki is basically Madonna in Japan, especially nowadays. And you know, her major debut was 1998, which means she's almost got what is it? How over 20 years? Over 20 years of like live show concerts, like footage, tons of footage, like tons of it. You can air it. You know, Second Action, which is this rock band that I love, they have been doing like every couple of days or every week. They have been streaming their old concerts that they've done because they've had to cancel shows, you know, and you can't really do anything about it. And because it's such a tight, because that the music industry is kind of got a rhythm to it. Like you got to get the tour out. You got to get it recorded. You got to get going. So it's an interesting thing. Gentleman Top Hat says, has Gamescom been canceled yet? No, I think they sent out a thing the other day saying we're aware of it, but Gamescom is later in the year, so we do not need to make the decision for that yet. So Gamescom has not been canceled yet. In fact, I think some of the virtual GDC stuff has started airing. I think I retweeted one of them, but I know Double Fine is doing some virtual presentations tomorrow, I think. Sony is doing tomorrow morning / noon on the East Coast, doing a stream, probably a pre-recorded stream about information on the PlayStation 5 with Mark Cerny, beautiful sweet angel Mark Cerny, talking about the PlayStation 5. We've already heard a bunch of stuff about the Xbox recently with their velocity, inner IO velocity, stuff like that. So, yeah, it was a weird time. Weird time. But you know, this is the time where, like, you know, if not just us, but like anybody you follow that does streaming, or you know, like, really take the time and let them know you appreciate them in the chat for, you know, what is kind of a tough, maybe it's a little bit of a tough time, especially people who like are streaming part-time and have real jobs. And if you're someone who does kind of streaming, like, go and stream. Like, people need stuff. People need stuff to look at, which is a very weird position to be in. But people need stuff to look at, you know. So that's that. Speaking of that, Friday, Animal Crossing comes out. Animal Crossing New Horizons. No, Jay-Z Collins is not a cry for attention. But this is Friday night. Friday Night Bryce is back with Animal Crossing. And we're gonna start a brand new save. We might even do some time traveling to get stuff done, because with that game you can really only get like maybe an hour, 2 hours of stuff done a day. So we might do a little bit of time travel on that. HTTPS 443 says, I just got Apple TV Plus. What is actually good on that? The morning show is pretty good. It's you know, it's kind of a serious sort of drama thing. So there's that. I actually watched the first episode of, what are they called? Game Quest, Raven's Quest. What's the video game show with Rob McElhenney? That's all right. It's a very serviceable ensemble comedy. I should give it a second. The second episode a try, because Raven's Banquet. Thank you. I think that's it. Or I thought Mythic Quest. Raven's Banquet is the first episode. Mythic Quest is the name of it. I should give it a second time, because like comedies, especially ensemble comedies, kind of need a little bit of time to get into it. But Danny Pudi is in it. Danny Pudi's like playing like this like kind of sharky sort of marketing guy, and I just finished rewatching Community, which makes that a little bit of whiplash for Danny Pudi. Puddy Pudi. Ashley Birch is in it. She plays a game tester, a queer little game tester who falls in love with her co-worker, which is a very sweet story. Rob McElhenney's in it as Ian, the game developer. It's interesting. It's funny, especially if you kind of know video game stuff, because boy, they so it's made in like Ubisoft is considered a producer, or like Ubisoft is a producer for the show, and a lot of the video game content in that show is like just, oh, this is from Assassin's Creed, and this is from For Honor, and this looks like that bird game that you made a year and a half ago. This looks like that bird flying game, and so it's like, I guess if you're making a show about video games, it's probably better to use real video games than fake ones? I don't know. JC Cohen says the plotlines do come together at the end of the season. It was Ubisoft's idea to make the show? I don't know about that. I know they're producers on it. Thermos Jack says they're making a game for the show too. I mean, yeah, they did that for Stranger Things too. Well, I said that, but they did make quite a few games for the show. Joining me now here live in studio is Brian Brushwood. Hey, Brian.
Man, I wish my voice would get better. How is it that I got better, but I sound worse? Blah, 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 blah. Ooh, I like that blue gel.
Yeah, we got a little blue gel.
Yeah, it makes us pop.
Yeah. A little bit.
Gives everything a little bit of texture. Although, man, do I look like I just worked out or something?
I changed the lighting just a little bit. I'll keep tweaking it, but yeah, it is.
I wonder if softboxing that wouldn't help us a bit. I like this better already. I think that blue adds something.
Yeah. I think I was doing something a little bit with the diffusion panels earlier, but it cut down the light in a way, and I didn't have enough time to make a solution for it.
I could put on a touch of powder.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't mind powdering up.
That might help a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do want to use those diffusers. But it was a thing where like I already got here, and that was like 90% of the way, and I needed to start the stream. Because when I put those diffusion panels on, so we have built diffusers for these lights. When I put them on, it cuts down
A lot.
the total amount of light by a
Yeah.
lot. And then that was repositioning stuff and so we didn't quite have a solution. How are you doing on the Tuesday, Brian?
I gave birth to a baby. Today was the day.
Oh,
that,
your fourth kid,
Yeah, well,
Bobo Brushwood.
a book baby.
Okay.
Today was the day that I held myself to record me given that same independent three currencies circle only goes one way talk. And I gave it to Roy Williams of the Wizard Academy, and I can't say I got it all in there, but enough that when I see it in print, the deal is like I opened my mouth and vomited it out, everything that you've heard me say a million times.
Yeah.
And he's having it transcribed and is going to edit it and say I took out the garbage parts.
Interesting. So you're doing like a kind of co-writing deal?
Yeah, and I think there's something there.
Neat.
I don't want to get ahead of myself. I feel like everything I say after this will just get ahead of myself.
And listeners to After Things, maybe a month or two ago, will have heard have heard some of this before. So maybe check out After Things.
Yeah.
About that. We were talking a little bit about some of the news.
Name one thing that's been in the news.
Well, and specifically, I'm bringing this up because it does kind of affect us a little bit. Well, first off, I'm sure we will talk about it a lot more in the show, but maybe for people who tuned in since I mentioned it, do you want to give people a little bit of the quick skinny on the picnic?
Quick skinny.
Quick skinny.
Picnic is delayed. Delayed. Yeah. I'm very, very. To be clear, a basketball game or part of a season can be canceled, but a wedding does not get canceled. A wedding just gets delayed. So we're still going to get married, and we're still going to have a great time. And if you RSVP'd, you still maintain your slot. I got to tell you, man, this is how great the Diamond Club is. Not one person has immediately said, "Give me my money back." But I've gotten like 12 emails that have been versions of, just tell me that my slot is still reserved. Whenever it is, just let me know I'm still there.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Probably, if you haven't already reached out to some of the folks, because I know that there was some talk of folks before we had set to delay who sold or gave away their slots.
oh yeah. Well, and we've already sent out an email. I mean, we'll probably double down and resend it just to make sure everybody gets the word. But in a world where the CDC is telling everyone not to gather in groups bigger than 10, I would imagine that people are going to open up their inbox and see that that it's delayed.
Sure.
Also, it's so important that we make the call now while the airlines are real flexible. Now's a real good time. If you just say, "Hey, I'm going to move that to some other time," then they are cool by cool.
Yeah, I know that I had those two very close personal friends that I mentioned to you off the stream who were going to make it.
Oh yeah.
I think like a week ago I was like, well, if you still come down, we can still just hang out for the week that you're here. And now it's like you definitely just shouldn't even come because so the other thing was today they closed down the bars and any dine-in service at restaurants, which.
Remember restaurants?
It's funny. So we did the shows on Monday, and I go and take a dinner break between the podcasts, and I went up the street to the chicken place, and it wasn't until I parked there, and I thought, ooh, are they gonna
the chicken place where?
Across from the Golden Chick.
Golden Chick. Yeah.
Because it's kind of a small little dining place, and I saw that there was a sign on the door when I walked up. I was like, oh no. That sign's gonna say closed. I'm gonna have to go find somewhere else to eat. But it was saying, we now serve shrimp. So there is shrimp on the premises if you have allergies.
Here, I'm gonna dump out these half-dead soldiers.
Sure. And then I was mentioning earlier that with the bars closed, we may have to figure out something different for Scam Nation for a little while, given that we tend to lean on that a little bit. Brian said maybe we pull the trigger and doing stuff on Brushwood. That'd be great. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. So yeah, he's cleaning up. I know I'm trying to talk to him. He's fucking walking around. I don't like when people do that to me, and so I shouldn't be doing that then. But yeah, so it's a little bit of an update here. Let's see what Justin's up. Is Justin streaming? You know, he should be. I think he just said he was only doing the one stream today. So. But yeah, hello everybody.
You know what? You know how you can tell it's the apocalypse?
How?
I don't even care if everyone sees me drinking a White Claw. That's how fast. that's how you know you're over it. I'm over the world. Yeah. It's like, what's the matter, man? We're all going down. I'm drinking White Claw now.
Is this week 2 or week 3 of No Laws Brushwood?
Man, as far as you know, no laws have ever touched Brushwood. There were never any laws in this sovereign.
Yeah. Now, okay, I got a question for you. This is not a dig, and this is legitimately
more of a Reddit.
This is a legitimately innocent question. You haven't used the flagon much lately, and I know that I put it out of the studio because we needed that table for a bizarre briefing.
To be honest, it's been a matter of convenience. And where is it? It's
up by the sink. It's up.
Okay,
it's up in the kitchen.
To be honest, there have been a couple of times that I've left the top open. And ironically, its purpose is so that I will not spill.
Yeah.
But when that lid is open, it's this giant, like, difficulty multiplier just waiting for my flailing hands to knock over at any time.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I will go ahead and get the not flagon.
Is it not a flagon?
A
Stein?
Yeah, I guess Stein.
Justin Robert Young, drink container expert. What would you call that thing Brian had been drinking out of in past?
That's a flagon. I believe that's no. It's a flagon. The floppy sack.
Yeah, I thought that was a flagon. I thought a Stein, but not even then. Tavern.
Oh, a flagon's more like a wine face, but I don't know.
Type in Stein. What do you get? But a Stein's like a clear thing filled with beer.
Is it? I know that they have no.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
a Stein.
It's a Stein.
It's a Stein.
Folks, we have a Stein check. How you doing, Juice?
Stein check. Yeah, sorry. I was trying to fucking delay this shit until I was done with this Battlegrounds game, but
Hey, man, that meta sounds like shit's about to get turned upside down.
Man, I don't even play ladder anymore. I'm all on Battlegrounds. I'm a pro Battlegrounds.
Yeah, that's quitter talk. It's quitter talk.
Is Battlegrounds the auto chess?
I don't play kickball anymore. I found a cooler game.
Yeah.
It's called Hacky Sack. Everyone's a winner in Hacky Sack.
Not everyone. Boy, fucking you weren't. You ran like a scalded dog. You tried to fuck around at Battleground.
Hey, whatever. You and your millennial everyone wins participation trophies. I'm out there in the real battlefronts. It's called the ladder.
I like fucking getting my K cups and I find on HS replay, and then it turns out it makes a reliable cup of coffee.
I understand. You don't.
So we're dealing with the fact that I'm a little bit deaf over the last week or two. I got that cold, and it happened right at the time that we had an explodey thing, and my right ear is not hearing much better. But after a bit of research, it's so clearly like the eustachian tube is closed up or something. But
have you gone to a doctor?
No, because I don't want to trouble a doctor over some shit that's going to clear itself up in a week.
Well, yeah, that's right.
They've got a little bit going on.
It's been
I thought for a second that you were going to say I don't want to bother a doctor in these trying times with the pandemic, but let's be real here, Brian. Even if there was no pandemic, you wouldn't go to a doctor for that.
I mean, no, you're right. Well, you know what? I tried to, and then they're all like, well, under your new thing, you have a new primary care provider, and you have to go. I'm like, I don't even know this dude's name. It says it on the card.
They tried to do that with me, too.
You gotta go to him, and I'm just like,
Every year they try to change my primary care physician, and I have to call them and say, send me a new card. You got it wrong.
Yeah, there's definitely been a couple of visits where I've just overridden everything with them, just like they're all like, well, you need to, and I just say $20 bills, and they're like, what? And I'm like, I am going to come with a fistful of $20 bills, and you will give me service, and then you will tell me how many of them you want. That is the end of this conversation, and then I grow a mustache, and then I Ron Swanson mobile over there, and then.
It's a long way of saying I'm paying cash. It didn't have to go through.
Yes. Well, it's a nice asshole way to do it.
Yeah, that's what you do if you're a dick. Man.
How's the
Dude,
how's the hunkering down, Juice?
See what I'm doing right now?
Are you hunkered?
Sit at this desk, talking to this microphone
Yeah.
all day. And apparently that's going to be the next 3 to 6 weeks or months, depending on how flat we get this curve.
Yeah.
I did a podcast about Billy Crystal this morning.
How was that?
That's where I'm at. You want to know how I'm handling the fucking hunkering down? I felt the desire to do a podcast about Billy Crystal this morning, and I did.
Right on. What did you figure out?
Oh, I'm not proud of it. This is me saying. No, literally. Like Katie Dirks texted me. She's like, oh, how are you handling it? I'm like, I'm fucking literally like 5 hours deep in doing a podcast about fucking When Harry Met Sally. Like, that's what I'm doing right now because I just randomly had this thought over the weekend. I'm like, oh, God, you know what I remember as a kid is like, man, every fucking year there was another Billy Crystal movie. Like that Billy Crystal had a hell of a career through the 90s. Like it was like one that every year and a half, and then he did the Oscars in between. Like nobody thinks of Billy Crystal as like a megastar now, and especially for a younger crowd, they don't. But like that dude fucking dominated the 90s. And so I was thinking about that, and then I looked at it, and so I went from 89. If you go from 89, right? That's When Harry Met Sally. Then it's City Slickers, Mr. Saturday Night, City Slickers 2, Forget Paris. I'm not doing the cameos. Father's Day, My Giant, Analyze This, and then America's Sweethearts. Like, those are like, that's, I mean, aside from Father's Day, which I had never heard of, but is another Rob Reiner movie with fucking
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams, yeah. But,
right?
but City Slickers has to be peak Crystal, right?
I would, well, I mean, or Harry Met Sally.
Well, yeah, that. But I guess Harry Met Sally is peak credibility. City Slickers was peak stardom.
Yeah, City Slickers. I mean, that's the only one that. I mean, Billy Crystal doesn't really make movies that demand sequels, and City Slickers fucking got Legend of Curly's Gold.
Yeah, but Analyze This got Analyze That, and so on.
True, you're right. You're right. Yeah, but then again, at that point,
Monsters Inc. got Monsters Inc. sequel. So,
but I mean, to the stardom point, comedy didn't really get sequels at that point. Like, in fact, I would actually maybe because I'm gonna do City Slickers next, I'll look into whether or not, or maybe for City Slickers too, whether or not that had like even ever really like happened. Like what was to that point in the early 90s when they didn't really make that many comedies in general. Like it was either for, I mean, I guess maybe like Animal House or like stuff like that, but you would usually like turn over the whole cast. Maybe Porky's, shit like that. But like that was the level of what comedy sequels were. And this was like, no.
This was an Avenger movie that had transformational midlife crisis and friendships and relationships and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, so Meatballs, Porky's, Caddyshack, Police Academy. None of those you would say are movies where there's tremendous amounts of prestige. Like that's a really good level of like where Hollywood thought comedy sequels were. It's like, all right, can we replace half the cast? Can we pay one of the stars from the original movie? And can we write this script in 12 hours?
Also, where's the tits? Like when do the tits show up?
Because guess what? We're gonna get half this cast the fuck out of here, and we're gonna save the money by putting in double the tits.
and which one is Burt Reynolds again? Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, so for whatever reason, I just felt the need to do that, and then I had this thing where I was like, man. Either I'm going to fucking think about doing a Billy Crystal podcast or I'm just going to fucking like hunker down and do it. And for a moment, like, you know how like artistically you have like that adrenaline of like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it. When you throw that hat over the wall and you know it's real because you know your own self, you know, what motivates you and everything, and you do it. It's almost like, remember in Swingers, the movie Swingers, when they're
Yes.
driving to Vegas?
Yes.
One of the greatest fucking scenes of all time, where it's like, it starts off and they're like, Vegas, baby! And they're playing Viva Las Vegas, and they're fucking like punching the
Smash
roof and
cut
everything.
5 hours later.
Yeah, it's just like the zombie, like fucking like eyes. That's what it is. It's like, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna do this like thing, and I wanted part of the motivation was that I just wanted to. I knew that I didn't want to rush another Raise the Dead thing out there, but I do want to, just because I'm re-listening to Raise the Dead so I can like know what I like and what I don't like, and just think about things going forward, even from the writing perspective. And I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna rush another Raise the Dead, but I would rush a fucking Billy Crystal podcast out that I could spell.
I hesitate to even bring this up in the pre-show because I suspect it might be a good first act jam. But I kind of want to break down this Final Four elimination of Billy Joel songs.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You want to get into that for the first act? Because I'm pretty sure I'm right in a face-off situation.
That you believe you wait. Oh, so are the Final Four decided?
I don't know if they've already had the whole tournament or not, but I loved the idea. I forgot who it was. Somebody on Twitter just said, place your bets. Voting has begun. But basically, they're making a tournament of all of Billy Joel's songs in a NCAA Final Four March Madness style tournament to figure out the one best song. And I was surprised at what I believe to be the winner, because it I don't think I would have picked it out of a lineup, but in a face-off, I feel like it crushes about all of them.
Yeah, let's find the thing. If you want to get into it now,
I responded to it earlier. Well, here, because we got sharp lights, I'm gonna go put on a bit of powder so I don't look like I belong on Westworld. Heyo.
Joe Maniello, JoeManniello. And to his credit, he is the NFL picks columnist for New York Newsday, and is doing his own Billy Joel Final Four bracket.
Okay.
All right.
Which, by the way, is apparently the most competitive Final Four that we'll be having this since the basketball version is canceled.
Oh my gosh! Do you realize that the Picnic was the biggest existing conference in all of Austin to get canceled this week? That's amazing. That's quite delayed.
Yeah, man. Jesus Christ.
Oh Jesus, there are fucking 64 of these?
No, he did the fucking full NCAA 64 bracket.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We can talk about Brian's thoughts here. He thinks that the guy, I went back and forth with the guy on Twitter, but he thinks that Goodnight Saigon is going to knock out Moving Out, which is the next bracket, the round 2 bracket that's going to be voted on next. And like, I got news for this motherfucker. The musicals ain't called Goodnight Saigon. Nobody fucking named the musical about Billy Joel's collective works as fucking Goodnight Saigon. They named that shit Moving Out. Fucking shout out to Sergeant O'Leary.
Okay. Well, that's I mean, okay. Billy Joel.
You're like, oh, great, another fucking half hour about Billy Joel. That'll fucking light the audience. That'll light the demo on fire. You fucking puppies. Oh, good. It's just when we were fucking a few weeks out of an extended discussion of the collected works of Billy Joel. Here we are, I guess. Cool.
I thought this was like down to the actual Final Four of it all. I did not expect.
Yes, so did. Well, I mean, I think Brian just has a hunch, and he's just going to explain his hunch.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Hello, everybody. We're going to get started with the show in a few moments here. We're going to have Tom Merritt on. That'll be great.
Tommy.
Always
so wait,
good.
hold on. So you guys, do you live in Austin proper, Bryce? Are you all shut down with the restaurants and the what?
Yes.
The what?
Yes. But I cook from home a lot anyway. So I cook from home a lot, and if I eat out, it's usually drive through anyway. So it probably won't affect me too much.
Toilet Bug says, I'm throwing 3 parties down here in the OC with some big bands if you're down in the OC. Like,
All right,
when?
man. All right, man.
Because I will not be attending.
Yeah,
Not now.
I
I'm on fucking lockdown.
Yeah, I was about to have.
Speaking of next, what the fuck are you doing, Toilet Bug?
That's a lie. That's a lie. I bet it's a bit. I think it's a bit. I was gonna have another group of friends that I'm in was gonna come to Austin. They were gonna have like a big meetup thing here in Austin, like a couple weeks after the picnic, and we had to pretty definitively call it because we can't go anywhere. There's not gonna be anywhere for us to go. So we're all feeling it, folks.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've noted that I am of the belief that I have a superhuman immune system. I don't get sick all that often. I believe I'm impervious to illness. I've said this a million times.
You're Superman, obviously.
People, right? Look, here's the thing. Listen, fat. You can carry this shit. And I got a wife who fucking has asthma and I can't fuck around. Do you know how much I would love to fuck around? I would love to be that guy who's just, if I was just by myself, I'd probably be that fucking dude out there doing dumb shit and, doing whatever. All I know is this, anybody who's going to fucking some shit now are a bunch of other risky motherfuckers who are probably ignoring fucking symptoms. So I would highly Toilet Bug, it's a free fucking country, man. You can do what you want.
What?
That's cool. Whatever. I'm not a narc.
Justin saying live, laugh, and love, Toilet Bug. Go live, laugh, and love yourself.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if you were to ask for the jury seal of approval, then I say stay home. Drink on your roof. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I was very heavily considering maybe sneaking away for like a Vegas trip because I know DKG was going to do their Vegas thing in like a month or so, like not in a little whiles here. But between the fact that half of Vegas has already voluntarily shut down and the rumor is that in the next 48 hours, the rest of it will be shut down by the government.
It happened an hour ago.
Oh, it did? Okay.
Yeah. The governor made the official announcement an hour ago.
Yeah. So it's like
Vegas is shutting down. Trust me, no state is more reliant on this shit than fucking Vegas is. If Vegas is shutting down, then Vegas believes it's a fucking, then Nevada believes it's a fucking problem. Because guess what controls the government in Nevada? The tourism industry.
Yeah.
Like they don't do that as a whim. Shit out here, whatever. Government's fucking really powerful. It can shut shit down if it wants. Out there, no sirree, Bob Cattails. It is the tail wags the dog out there in Nevada, and that's the case.
It's a good image though of the dog, like the tail staying in place, but the dog wagging.
It's a great metaphor.
It's a good one. I like that.
No, all right. Somebody asked if the picnic was still happening, would I go? And I guess we can talk about this now, but as shit was ramping up, and now everything's fucked. Like there's no way that any of this could have happened. But at the point where there would just be mild social distancing and things would be discouraged and it would be a bad look for an event to happen, I was like, well, what if we just live streamed it? What if everybody still came there and we just became a virtual kind of thing, and that would be that. And for that, I would have been willing to, even if there was a domestic travel shutdown, which was part of the discussion at the time, and I'm sure it'll be a discussion going forward. I was willing to drive for that. Like
wow.
I would have been from California to Texas if we were putting together a thing, and it would have been better for the community.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I because I'm not in the planning of this event so much, so it wasn't until we had a Modern Reg shoot the other day and we were all in the same place where it was like I walked into that shoot going like, well, we had been pretty gung-ho about, it's not that big. It's out of the urban center. And this was before all of the big shutdowns that happened. But because I thought like, oh, Brian's probably like super gung ho about doing it. Like, because, when like South by Southwest canceled, I mean, you heard him on this show be very excited to be doing it. But a lot of it was just like a lot of the people who like a lot of the guests, or not the guests, the community who was going to come in for it said, yeah, I don't want to go at this time.
Yeah.
Or it's tough for me, people who live with their elderly parents or who maybe are of an older age themselves, like, vulnerable people who are vulnerable. So, totally understand that.
I mean, look, it's whatever you think about it. Number one, to sacrifice for it, private sector, public sector have both in their own ways, effectively forfeited a fucking a bull economy.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a really good economy, and in preparation for this, we effectively just turned that off. We just said, I mean, like, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin came out today and said that it is not unlikely that we would have 20% unemployment. Like, we were at like 3%, which I think is around a line of where like more people are employed than God, I don't even know if I can say this stat the way that it was said to me back in the 90s, but mentally handicapped people are by the numbers are filling a percentage of the jobs, right? Like that there was like anybody with an able mind can at this point have a gig somewhere should they want it. Obviously, there are caveats in the middle of there.
Bryce,
but
I just took off wet socks. Do me a favor, let me know if that odor hits you. I apologize, but I'd rather have dry feet and a pig pen dust around. Sorry, you wanted to talk about unemployment. What was that?
Yeah, I'm just saying it was bad. It's bad now. We were at a fucking bull economy, and now we're looking at a recession, a global recession, out of precaution for this. So it's like, if you want to think this is bullshit or fucking this is something that the government is lying to us about, that's fine, man. But that's a real long way to make a point. That's a real far way. Like at a certain point, if you shave your head ironically and then start going to neo-Nazi meetings, you're just a fucking Nazi.
Dude, it's fucked up because it was raining in the morning, but it's been sunny for like the last 6 hours, but all of the clovers everywhere have water all over it. And Nike, because they're trying to dry out for the joggers and the runners and stuff, just all that water, you walk across your lawn, your socks get wet, and then your producer has to smell your stinky ass socks when you take them off and let them dry. Are you starting to smell them?
I'm starting to smell it. Do we have any for
yeah, I'll be right back. I'm going to get some Glade. I'm sorry. You were wanting to talk about the bull market. I'll be right back.
That's cool.
Should I not?
I don't know. Literally nothing else is going on. I tried. I don't know. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Should I not talk about it, or like?
Just trying to reset the air. I'm just that's all I'm going for. Just trying to do. Yeah. This is our Indiana Jones of the Temple of Doom discussion. What's the most culturally insensitive part of that movie?
Okay. All right. Well, here, you guys go ahead. I'm gonna grab a drink.
Okay. All right.
Well, then, what do you want to talk about, Brian?
Man, I mean, we definitely have to address the fact that the picnic got postponed. That's of course a bummer. But I just want to have a little escapist moment. I want to.
Sure. Well,
I heard. I haven't read. Oh, man, you want to talk about some Twitter? Well, it's kind of related. I had a weird moment of two people I like a lot on Twitter fussing at each other, which made me sad. But it was over.
Yeah, that sounds like much better energy.
Yeah, no, that's
good call.
That's
good
why
call,
I'm
my man. Good call.
That's me noting that exit as we drive on by. But I birthed the book today, and then I kind of had a little postpartum. We got a fucking ping pong table. We got a ping pong table.
Okay.
Where you were not on the crowd that was all ping pong,
Nobody-
palooza?
Nobody asked me. Ping pong's great. Ping pong's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Where's it at? I guess it's in the steel building.
Yeah. Corey set it up today, and it was funny because it's just sort of like, hey, we got that thing set up. Let's say we try it out, and it's like, you definitely beat me 20-5. Let's say we try it out again. And it's like, oh, you're pretty good. Now you beat me 20-10. Let's say we try it out again. And then it was 20-15. And then Brian won a game, but I don't know. Was that but then Corey won a game, and then Brian won a game, and then suddenly Corey was tired. And so it was like this weird negotiation of it had been so long since I played ping pong that it took me a while to kind of get back into the groove and get that, to figure out what parts of it I was good at and what parts I shouldn't be a sucker for. Because Corey kept doing this motherfucking thing where he would intentionally lob it and set me up for a slam, and I don't know how to do a slam in ping pong. If I do a slam, it's just gonna hit the back wall. And
you gotta have your paddle further down.
Yes, and mentally,
that's not a bit. I'm not doing a bit.
No, I know, but you're 100% right. But for some reason in the moment, I don't seem to be able to do that, and so instead I just swat it at the ceiling every single time. So I finally stopped taking the bait, and so it's like he would do this boop boop big lob, and I would go knock it, just like
you got to bunt it.
Yes. Although I should be able to slam, but I can't, and I don't. Instead, I only seem to be good at like playing the very back of the table. Justin, do you like ping pong?
I've never really been great at it. No, but I'm not against it. I don't know if anyone said, hey, you want to play ping pong? And I said, fuck you, no.
Well, and what's funny is I know I'm actively not good at it because I can't do, anyone who I see do this.
When would anybody get good at ping pong? This is not I know it sounded this like a condescending, but when would someone get good at ping pong?
Oh, college.
Oh, no, that's
100%.
Oh, no, I would say before that.
Oh, really?
Like everybody that I knew that was good at that kind of shit, it was always like a family thing. It was like they had brothers or sisters or uncles, and they would all play, and it would be a thing that would happen like over Thanksgiving. And the next thing you know, it's always the younger siblings that have to be as good as the older siblings are the ones.
It is so funny
like,
that you said that. That is exactly what Corey described his upbringing and his relationship with ping pong with. Is like he specifically called out that he would do this thing where he would wait extra long until it goes down and then scoop it and pop it, and then like when it hit, like that shit was deadly because it like appeared out of nowhere and then landed on the table and went a direction it was not supposed to go. But it was also unreliable in the games we played. And he said, older brothers, man, this was the only move I had. It was come at them with this weird ass Hail Mary, and we'll see if it lands or not.
That's skills like that are the ones that then you bring to college, and you see like, oh shit, apparently I'm semi-pro at this thing because I played it every single day with my older brother, where all these other people, like, they played it maybe once a year at, when they were at their cousin's house that had the table.
Yeah. It's something that I perceive myself as actively bad at, but I irrationally love in a way that I don't love other things that I'm bad at. Like pool, it's so slow and meticulous and plotting, and all the pressure's on in that one moment, and everyone watches if you either nail it or fuck it up. Whereas ping pong and squash. Squash is the, much more athletic iteration, but I love the fact that I watch my body do something that my conscious brain doesn't even know where any of this is coming from.
That's the problem. It's the reason why I was never good at it, but you're totally right, because you do have to separate your athletic reflexes from your brain. It's the reason why I've always been terrible at hand-eye timing games. Like, I'm always thinking way too much, and I always fuck it up, and then I get in my own head about it, and that's kind of a wrap. But that's why I'm terrible at anything that involves a timing and then me reacting. I'm great at beer pong, so I can like think, focus, shoot, right? I'm great at foosball, where my hands are always in position and I'm just like twitching, but even then that's almost more strategy, and it's like repeatable strategy over and over and over again. Anything that involves a timing and that like that one other dimension of moving in, laterally or whatever, I'm fucked.
Yeah, it's funny. I wonder if because basketball, I'm a tiny guy, so I would do well on any of the parts that were just hustle and ambition. If you needed a jockey for position and you just didn't give a fuck about your body or whatever, like I was good at stealing and knocking the ball away and fucking it up for other people, but that moment of shooting, it's like well, now's the moment. Something about that pressure, choke would hit me, and I think that's the same thing with pool, and that doesn't seem to happen with ping pong. And man, squash is the best. I think squash might be my favorite athletic thing ever because it's a full body extravaganza. Like that ball is so dead that you just have to move, and your body's already moving before you even realize it.
Yeah.
Is that highlight you're having?
It is actually.
It's pretty good. I like highlight, and I'm not gonna lie.
Highlight beer.
Yeah, I like it. Partly.
He's not got a big scoop in his hand.
Okay, question. When you drink it, because this is a true fact for me. When I pick it up and when I drink it, I am always singing a song in my mind.
World's fastest game.
The world's fastest game. Ooh, Dana highlight.
No, well, so this beer was actually blowing up in Florida before I moved. So this Cigar City was this, and they have like the Guayabera beer. But this was like blowing up locally, so you were like just able to get it on like South Florida taps before everything became a microbrewery. Like back when it was like you had your local bar, and then there'd be like the one. It was like they have Blue Moon here now.
Yes, yeah, or Yingling Lager. What? Now I've seen everything.
Yeah, so it's like back then, where it was like just beginning to be like the microbrew world. But this was there, and I was never really able to find it when I was out here. And then I was panic buying for fucking lockdown, and who's there staring me right in the eye? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, man, we might be in the apocalypse, but at least I'm going on with you, Highlight.
Do me a favor, let me peep that ABV. Tell me if my memory is correct. Is that 7.2? 7.
I mean, do you want to guess it?
I'm gonna guess it 7.
Even?
Yeah.
You're sure? You don't want to change?
I know I'm not sure, but I'm Presshow's writing it.
You want to change though? You want to change?
I do. 7.5. I'm going to go with 7.5.
You want to keep it the same? You want to change?
No. 7.5. 7.5. I'm locking it in.
Positive right now.
100% positive. 100% positive. Yeah. 7.5. Yeah. Am I right?
Good answer.
7.5.
Good answer.
Brian.
Yeah.
The ABV.
Yeah.
On a can.
Yeah.
Cigar City High Life.
Yeah.
Is 7 point.
Yeah!
Gucci gang, 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 Gucci gang.
Woo! Champion of lockdown! Champion of lockdown! Woo! God damn.
So anyway,
God damn.
Steve Mnuchin says at the press conference today.
All right, we got to do a show.
By the way, Bonnie says she's on her way, so she'll come in.
She will join us?
Well, yeah, she'll come in whenever.
Oh, okay. All righty. Okay. All right. Len, you good, Juice?
Oh, baby, I'm living the dream.
All right, then we're gonna start the show. Here we go.